Hi guys, today is pregnancy week 11 video, and this will probably be a shorter video than usual just because there's actually hasn't been a whole lot going on. It's been a pretty chill week, no appointments, and nothing is really happening. Like, I'm still not really showing again because, I started out a little fluffier in the middle than what I wanted. So I think it's going to take a little bit longer to have the baby emerge through the fluff. Um, anyway, so things have been going pretty well. There have been some downsides of the pregnancy this week, I guess, just in terms of pregnancy related kind of symptoms. So I actually have been having to. So with the first two pregnancies, I didn't really, I certainly noticed certain things, but in this third pregnancy, I've been noticing very different things than what the other two were like. I guess just because one, my body's a little bit older. Two, this is the third time my body's going through this. Three, I don't know, could be a different type of baby that is growing inside. But I have been having a lot more pregnancy related acne. And I guess I use acne very, very lightly. Like whenever I get breakouts or anything, I get one zit at a time. But usually, like, everything works together to where that one zit is like a monster zit. So I've been having, I feel like you can see it. But anyway, I'm not like gonna do a close up. But my whole side of my nose has been like hurting for days, because I just have a monster zit growing. So I've been having a lot more pregnancy related zits. I have also been having issues in the bowel movement and bowel extraction department, to put it nicely. Which I never really had issues with that with either of the other two pregnancies. So I've been having to take some laxatives to help smooth things along, to say the least. So that's been a different experience. So the acne and the bowel issues have really been the biggest issues I've encountered this week. Tiredness, still, my appetite is actually back. I've been able to eat more than what I was, so I'm no longer on a cereal diet, which I'm fine with. And that's about it in terms of that. So I told a small fib that I said I didn't have any appointments. I actually had one appointment last week. So I have been thinking about how to do a video on this, and at some point, maybe I'll do a video talking about this specifically. But since I have been an adult in my late 20s, that I've been aware of it, I have dealt with anxiety and depression. And they're kind of like toxic BFFs. I mean, for me anyway, like they really go hand in hand. Although for me, my anxiety is much more of a present issue than the depression. Like I said, I was diagnosed in my late 20s, but I would say, thinking back on my life and everything, I've dealt with this. I've probably dealt with anxiety since I was a kid. And the depression probably kicked in when the hormones kicked in when I was an early teenager. So around 13, 14, because thinking back to how I was and how I felt and everything. And so I have been dealing with anxiety and depression most of my adult life, and I've been on and off medications. Pregnancy has been a very rough time for me, and so I've had to go on medication at each point of the pregnancies, usually around 5 months. So one of the things that my doctor wanted to address with me when I shared all of my history and all of my concerns with this pregnancy and everything was the fact of my mental health. And so she recommended that I get connected with a mental health provider. And so I had actually seen a counselor a couple of times, I guess earlier in 2015. And it was through like the counseling service at work. but she was not covered under my insurance that I had last year. So I made the switch to a different insurance company or an insurance plan for the start of 2016, and so she's actually covered under that. So I was really glad that I had somebody in the city that I knew and had already established a relationship with. So I actually had an appointment last week, and we were able to catch up on things that have happened since I last saw her. But it was just really good to get established with care and to know that my doctor felt that that was really important, like my OB felt that that was really important. Because when it does get to that point, or perhaps it won't get to that point because I am seeking care early, but that way that there's a team of people that will be working together for the best plan of my care. So that makes me really happy. So I am obviously I'm starting off this pregnancy. I'm not on any medications or anything like that. So it's just me, but I'll be seeing my therapist, probably once a week, potentially bi-weekly. But so I will be closely monitoring all of that because, the stress hormones that go into the baby are not healthy, not a healthy way to grow a baby, and it's definitely not healthy for my own mental health. So I want to make sure that I'm able to address this early on. So, like I said, I'll probably, although we have a small base of folks that watch our videos, we're very thankful for that small base. And so it's a small platform that I have, but I also feel like it's an important platform for us to be able to address some topics that are maybe more challenging for people to talk about. So, Herschel with his CU, we've talked about, racism and bigotry and how we've kind of dealt with that. There's many, many, many more topics that we can address, but living with anxiety and depression, I feel like, is something that not everybody is able to talk about. There's definitely still a lot of stigma attached to that. I actually have my master's in social work. That's what I went to grad school for. So it was very important to me, and I did some work in the field in that. And I still kind of get to do some of that work as I work with college students now. But so I will probably do a separate video sometime in the future talking about anxiety and depression, and I'd love to hear stories from you as well if that's something that you've dealt with. So anyway, to sum up week 11, because I didn't want to get too long-winded in this video, to sum up week 11, I've just been having some of the not so attractive symptoms of pregnancy. So zits have been forming. I've had some issues in the excrement. I don't even know how to say that. Poo issues, right? And then I've started seeking care for my anxiety and depression so that I can nip that in the bud before it gets too severe. So I will have an update for you next week, and that's it for this week. So until next time, see you later. Bye.